CC, your very own girl, here on True Talk Show, brought to you by SNF Media. So, today in the building, we have two wonderful artists in the building, and on my left, we have.
Samson Ogiamia.
And what's your heart like?
Well, I'm a visual artist and I create sculptures and I also interact with my sculptures and I work with different materials, but I am more interested in working with bronze material.
Beautiful. And to my right, we have Mr.
Yuri Kainer.
Yuri Kainer. So what's your art like?
I'm a musician and a theater maker, and I'm directing the company Oniricon. With this company, we create a site-specific theater with music, dance, and theater.
Beautiful. So, darlings, sit back. Let's get into business for today. You're talking about Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, this is where you got to meet with a mask.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So Yuri created amazing mask, and that influenced me the more.
Okay.
Because until then, my work has been a kind of, I create my work and I place it in a museum or do some exhibitions and then people come and look at my work and comment, you get it?
Yeah.
So after meeting with Yuri and working with him in Sri Lanka and we performed together with his mask, it was so amazing. Then I started thinking further ahead.
Okay.
In the sense that for me just to create an art piece is beautiful. Create sculptures, or paintings, they speak a lot. But it is not enough for me.
Like putting it in action.
Then me and Yuri, then we started, okay, now I create artwork and then he come and put life in it.
Okay.
You get it?
As a performing artist.
Right.
Okay.
And that is what we started after our great adventure in Sri Lanka.
So that's the relationship between the both of you. So I must ask shortly, is your gaze silenced?
In that
do you
sense,
define the colonial gaze in your gaze?
In that sense, it is not. I wouldn't say it is silence because
so in
all my works or my projects are being built around colonialism and it is very strong, very political, and of course many institutions. When you're too political, many institutions they want to step back. They're afraid of approaching, a very strong topic, like the topic of colonialism and even this looting artifacts from Africa and bringing it to Europe and Western world, And I have approached also a topic in 2010, and it was called Agony of the Beloved. And Agony of the Beloved is a project which portrays young Africans who lived here in Europe, specifically Austria, and died. You get it? With different reasons. But I pick their pictures and create their bust to commemorate their death. You get it?
Yeah.
But that also has to do with our commemorative tradition.
Okay.
And some institutions, they were like, oh, this is too political. You get it? But nevertheless, I exhibited it anyway. So some journalists, they came and then they wrote about it. So my voice is not silenced in that terms.
What about the young youths that haven't gotten into the markets like you've gotten into the market? Those artists not on the A list, so to say.
Well, what I will advise in that sense is that the young coming artists, you shouldn't, well, give up, and you should be focused and try to approach the right institution, and work closely with artists as well. Well, it is not easy, but you just need to, you get it,
Okay.
push a little bit harder.
So, Yuri, what you have to say to the artists not on the A list, that are not in the limelight, that like.
A-list.
You've broken through.
B-list.
You've broken through different continents, different countries. So
Well, I think most important is that you believe in what you do and that it makes sense and pleasure and that it moves you. And I think if it moves you, it's gonna move other also. It's not the only factor that makes that you can live out of your art, but it's the most important factor.
okay. So that brings me to the last question, and I'm done here for today. What are your challenges as an artist before you could get to break barriers and you're where you are today? It's a question for the both of you. Do you go first or goes first? Okay, so tell me, what are your challenges and how were you able to overcome it before you
Well-
got here to the stage you are?
Well, good question and difficult answer.
Beautiful.
Well, there are a lot of challenges, the challenge of being accepted, accepting your work as one of, the big artist artwork. There's the challenge of your artwork not being presented in the art market as it ought to, and there are also challenges in terms of, especially me as an African and living in a country where we don't really have a connection. I'm living here in Austria from Nigeria, so the connection between Nigeria and Austria is zero. You get it? And then me coming here and I tried to go into art school, which I did, and then coming out of art school, a lot of hurdles, a lot of challenges. But I just believe in what I'm doing, and I just keep on pushing and also try to meet the right people. Of course, with God on my side, it helped me a lot to connect with the right people, and and I try to keep a cool head.
Are you trying to say being in the right circle, the right connection, is what made you that's how you overcome this stage?
What stage are you talking about?
Like overcome these challenges?
Well, the challenges are still there, but it's just that I don't take focus on it. But well, I passed through some hurdles, and most importantly, believe in yourself and keep a cool head.
So Yuri, over to you.
Well, I think one of the basic challenge for artists that you always have to expose yourself, and also today it's more and more necessary to how you say to the selling part, like the communication part. It becomes bigger and bigger. Like I come from a family of actors and theater makers, and they used to tell me, when I were young, they had to print a flyer, and people will just came to the theater. today you have to have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, little video, and write a concept of 20 pages before you start to rehearse. So you all this aspect, it makes that sometimes many artists spend more time presenting their work than actually working on their work, and this is a challenge. And I mean, it's necessary because otherwise you don't get to work, because otherwise people don't hear about you.
So,
And this balance between how much you go into this world and how much you resist to it is quite challenging sometimes.
so being exposed, could you make us understand, like, it's somehow it's a contrast. You said as an artist, they have to, it makes you, or as an artist, people are being exposed, they expose themselves in what way?
Well, I mean, if I make this project and then I perform it, and people would say, that's kind of boring. It's gonna touch me in a maybe stronger way that if somebody is making a washing machine and some people say, oh, this washing machine is like not really interesting, like it's less personal. So that's why that's what I mean for expose. You all the time have to dig into yourself to get something, to propose something. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
I mean,
you.
all my respect for the people who make washing machine. That's also. It's not. I don't want to be arrogant with that. It's just about like, yeah, sure, getting to touch things inside yourself.
Okay. So your word still remains for the upcoming artists that haven't become known. Your advice for them is they should keep believing what they do.
Yeah, they should keep believing and also keep questioning.
Okay, thank you. So, darlings, we've come to the end of this True Talk show brought to you by SNF Media. So, I hope you enjoyed this session. I still remain your very own stylist CC. So, darlings, for more, you know where to get me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's SNF Media. So, thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
And Yuri.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.